Hey students, welcome back to Masterspoint. So today our subtopic is equilibrium of bodies and its kind. Before I directly switch to the definitions and its kinds and conditions, let me first define you the meaning, the word's meaning. Equilibrium means what? Equilibrium, it's nothing but the state of balance. Okay, as my equilibrium is related to the topic force, so how it may be defined with the meanings like there are many forces acting on the body, so it may be balancing the forces all which are acting on the body. Let's see what the definition is defining. So if we are switching to the definition, when a number of forces acting on a body produce no change, okay, in its state of rest or of linear or rotational motion, the body is said to be in equilibrium. Okay, so here the definition says what? The definition says that when a number of forces acting on a body, there are more than two or more forces acting on the body. So when all the forces are acting on the body, even in spite of acting all the forces on the body, still the body produce no change. Okay, it remains in rest. If it is in rest position, it remains in rest. If it is in motion, then it keep on moving with a constant velocity. So the forces are being balanced, they are not disturbing the object. Okay, under the influence of so many forces, the body, when it maintains its stability, if it is at rest, it stays in rest. If it is in motion, it stays in motion. Okay, so this condition is known as an equilibrium. So there are two conditions which satisfies the equilibrium. The first condition is that the resultant of all the forces acting on the body should be zero, the resultant. Secondly, the algebraic sum of moment of all the forces acting on the body about a pivoted point or at the axis of rotation, then it should be zero. Okay, the condition is when it will be zero, when all the forces are getting balanced, when the net force is zero. Okay, so let me switch to the conditions. Yeah, you can see here the resultant of all the forces when acting on the body should be zero. First condition. The second is the algebraic sum of moment of all the forces acting on the body about the pivot point of rotation, or I can say the pivoted point or axis of rotation, okay, should be zero. These two conditions satisfies me the object or the body is remaining in the equilibrium. Okay, so you can see what it states that. Yeah. Now I'll take an example. I'll demo you the definitions. Okay. We are assuming this book to be a table. Okay. If I am keeping an object, let this be the object, mouse. Now it is at the rest. Even the forces are acting on the object. You can say which are the forces are acting on the object. Any guesses? Okay, yeah. One force is the gravitational force, which the gravitational force is acting on each and every body or the each and every object present on this earth. Even the gravitational force is acting on me. Okay, there is a pull, gravitational force, you know, it is a pull from the earth. So that's the reason why everything has been maintained on this earth. Each and every object, animal, human, or living, non-living, each and object is being attracted by the force, so they are possessing the gravitational force. So this is one gravitational force which is acting downward, and the other force, the normal force, which are acting upward directions. Okay, when these two forces are being balanced, there is no change or no change in this object. You can see it is still at the rest. So this is the half part of the definition is satisfying my equilibrium condition, that states that when an object being acted by all the forces, still it produce no change in its state of rest when all the forces are acting on the body. Okay, so right now you have seen two forces, the gravitational forces and the normal forces are acting on the body, but still there is no change in its state of rest. So that position, it is known as the equilibrium condition. Okay, first thing. And second part of my definition is that it states that when all the forces acting on the body produces no change in its motion, whether it is linear or it's rotational, so motion is not being disturbed, then it is said to be a equilibrium condition. For the motion, we will take an example of the car, which is real life example. The car is moving. Okay, the car is being acted by four forces. The downward direction, yes, obviously the gravitational force. On the upward direction, it is the normal force, whereas you can see north is going, the normal force is going in the north side, south side it is going the gravitational force, east it may be acceleration, west it may be the frictional forces which is balancing the car to move on the road. So you can see there are so many forces acting on the body. In spite of acting so many forces, the car still moves with a constant velocity. There is no change in its motion. Okay, unless until we apply something like that. So the car is moving in with a constant velocity. So that condition, if we may state it as a dynamic, it is a equilibrium. Okay. So right now we have seen the definition of the equilibrium, the conditions which satisfies. Okay, now we will see the kinds. The definition itself gives us the idea about the kinds, how many kinds are there. Right now we have mentioned in our definitions, it is one, it is at the state of rest, the other is at the motion. So the two kinds of equilibrium is one related to my state of rest, other is related to my motion. Let's see how it is being related. Yeah, okay, you can see now the kinds of equilibrium. Equilibrium has two kinds, one is the static, other is the dynamic. Yes, before I switch to the definitions of the static and equilibrium, let me first tell you the word static means what. It means that rest, at the state of rest, anything which is at the rest position is known as a static. And the dynamic means very energetic, active, in a motion. Okay, since the word dynamic is related to the physics chapter, I will not use the word energetic and active. I'll use the word like motion of my particle, atoms, objects, it can be anything. Let's see how the two keywords, the state of rest and the motion, is being used for the definition of static and dynamic. Yeah, we'll switch to the definitions. When a body remains in the state of rest, you can see the body is remaining at the state of rest under the influence of several forces. So the static equilibrium means that in spite of several forces being acted upon the object or the body, it remains in the state of rest. There is no change. Okay? So we'll see the example. One of the example for the static equilibrium is your beam balance. We have seen it everywhere in the grocery shops. Okay, after a certain ups and downs, it comes to a rest. So at that point, it may be stated as a static equilibrium. There are many examples for static equilibrium. Now we'll see what is the dynamic equilibrium. So the dynamic equilibrium, it states that when a body remains in the state of motion, the motion can be translational or the rotational under the influence of several forces. So it says that here the body is remaining in the motion in spite of there's so many forces being influencing the body. Okay, before in the definition of equilibrium we have discussed about the moving car. Here we can take the example to understand the definition. Planets, the planets which are rotating around the sun with a constant velocity, they are having the motions. in fact of many forces they are being acted upon, like it may be the forces of the centrifugal. There are many forces which are acting on the planet, but still it maintains its motion, the constant velocity. At the condition, it may be stated as a dynamic equilibrium. Okay. Um, let's see what is the example given there. First example for the static is the beam balance, and the example for the dynamic is given as a planet. There are many examples. You can share your real life examples down below in the comment box. By this, we come to an end of the session. We have discussed the definition, its condition, and then we have seen the kind also. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can share it in the comment box. If you want me to make a specific videos on any of the topics, please mention it below in the comment box. So today the question of the day is, what do you mean by equilibrium of the body? Please write down the answers in the comment box. And our next session will be on principle of moment. Thereafter we'll be solving the exercise 1A with the numericals. So please give a thumbs up for this video. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell notification so that you'll be updated with my upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.